So, Ishan, with AISO now in picture, how do you think the role of content teams has evolved in the past 2 to 3 months, and how should they be thinking about this space?
I'll try to keep this short as I can, but then I'll also give you some insight into the future. Maybe that's for a different post. But see, when you create content as content teams, right? When you're creating content, um, the way you would decide what content to create is usually dependent on either an SEO strategy where, hey, this is what people are searching for, and your SEO team believes that if you write on this, you will get some traffic which will lead to conversions. So you either decide that, or you're going after um, basically thought leadership, where you can say if someone, no one might search for this, but if someone sees that content piece on social media or somewhere, when they see it, they will want to read it, and then they will maybe, yeah, so that's when they consume, and then they believe in increase trust, all of that, and then finally buy from you, right? So those are the two ways you decide what content to create. Now with AI and LLMs and LLM search in place, what you would have to do is you would need to figure out what are the gaps in your industry. Okay, so think of this as that you're almost mapping your entire industry out, and you're saying that, hey, no one has really talked about this well, right? So most topics in your industry might have already been talked about. There will be some nuances that no one has talked about well, and what because people are adding a lot more context to their prompts, what is happening is all of these long tail things that usually just had no search volume or whatever, and then no one, it would never get there. More and more, I'm predicting more and more of that would get picked up. I'm already seeing a lot of this happen. So what you can do is, okay, even if it's not a direct search, if there's a piece of information missing in your industry, you need to create content to fill that gap. The way you can do it is you can sort of find all the, like, you can even start with the SEO program, like whatever people have given, right? You can sit down with the SEO team and you can sort of add a lot of that. The Google Ads team, look at the keywords that you're already trying to go after and see for which of these keywords, even including long tail ones, were the citations very, the sources that were used to generate the answers, citations that were used to generate the answers, where were these sources not very, not the right sources, right? Like ChatGPT almost had to settle for that piece of content, for that page, to generate its answer. And where you find that it's settling, that's where you create the content, right? Now this is an analysis that again you can do with Chosenly. You can also do it manually. You can try and do it with your SEO team. But that's what you're trying to figure out, for which answers is ChatGPT does not have the right content. So this vagueness score of sort is now the new criteria based on which you say, okay, this is what I'll create content on, which will then help me show up on LLMs. That's how you're deciding. Um, I don't know if I should talk about the long term of content teams.
No, no,
Should
no,
I?
please do.
Um, I mean, in the long term, guys, you're screwed. Right? So, because see, because of LLMs, the cost of creating content is really, really, really gone down, right? A lot of content writers would maybe maybe you'd rely too much on good writing skills, right? That's not worth a lot. Sure, if LLMs don't do a good job right now, wait for 6 months, they'll probably do a better job. And maybe for another 6 months, they'll do an even better job. So, writing as a skill set is not as valuable as of now. Maybe editing is, and we'll see where it goes. But either way, no matter whether you believe or disagree with this, um, the cost of creating content is going to really, really go down. Once it goes down, um, it's going to become a lot more mainstream for a lot of companies to create content, because right now what content creation is and what a lot of people do is they just do a research on what's there on the internet, summarize all of that, and then rephrase it and write it again. Eventually, as this increases, there will not be a need for articles. People will search for something and LLMs will write the article that didn't exist that they had to read. So if you think, oh, I will always write better than ChatGPT, sure, but can you write an article in an instant about the specific use case that someone is looking for the moment that someone searches for it? Obviously not. So that is going to happen. What is going to be left is you will have to increase the quality of your content by a lot, like really by a lot, which means you cannot use the insights that exist on the internet. You need to come up with new insights, which means either you become the content experts in the industry. So I assume a lot more writers are going to have to pick industries and become actual experts there. A lot of technical writers do this very well. So I think they will really thrive. And others will be people who are great interviewers. Again, I've seen some writers who are just amazing interviewers, where you can source your own experts, interview them, and then write about stuff like this, like Gunika is doing, right? So things like that, people like those will become a lot more valuable. And at that point of time, the cost of content is going to really shoot up, because again, everything I've said is very expensive to do. It's not writing. No one's paying you for writing. They're paying you for how well you can bring insights to the table, how well you can figure out what to create. And eventually, I think, again, it's too early. Eventually, is in maybe in 2 years or 3 years, you'll see this trend, like cost of content really going down for a year or two, year and a half. And if you're a freelancer, dude, it sucks to be you for a year and a half. But then it's going to really skyrocket. And but then only the people who are good at doing things like this will thrive, and they'll really thrive. So yeah, it's like a good news and a bad news, is what I'm predicting. But yeah, that's what, not just for content teams, also freelancers, also in-house teams, same thing. Not just for freelancers, even in-house teams, dude, they're going to be under scrutiny. People will say, hey, why can you not just do this with ChatGPT? Why can you not use it to create more? This and that. And then you need to develop the skill sets to be able to create content so much better that no one can say that to you. Right? That, hey, I'm the one who's going to bring the insights. I don't care who writes it, and I'll figure out to write it really well. That's going to be the skill set of the future, according to me. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, perfect.